Dude, that's by far that's an incredible draw for him, right? Pumps this creature, so I can't eat one of the creatures for free. Gives him I can't chump here. So we take 4 to Vivian, which sucks.
Strike me, and you strike nature.
2 reach creatures. We can see what's on top of our deck before we make another decision. Could also ult first, then scry after. Or not ult, but plus. I can minus the dog or minus the Avery, but they both suck. I can minus the enchantment, which is a little bit more interesting. But that means really far away from ulting. Can we beat him without ult at 37 HP and 15 cards? I don't know. I think I plus here.
The wilds are my shield.
Can double spell if I don't Warden. He's got 1 flyer only. Okay, I'm taking that. Dude, if we had a green mana, we could double spell anyways. Feels so bad to have such shitty mana right now. Sky Scanner's fine. I don't know about drawing, but it's fine. Okay, I'm not gonna... Okay, that's fine. Like this. Alright, opponent. You have to draw a land. This is 4 non-land cards off top of your deck, one of which was a perfect answer to my board. So stop, okay? Alright. Can we ult this and then win? Feels like our likely path here. Could also, the other way is I start minusing and then minus the enchantment on the Griffin. But I don't think that gets me anywhere. How much power does he have? 3/2/2. So we could trade off 2 creatures only for this. It's not really good enough. I think this is just Sage Pass. If I draw my second card, I haven't. Hey Jensen, thanks for resubbing. The Angel is actually solid here though. I don't think I care about this. Got another mana sink with the Angel. Ult last, of course. Feels good. Do I start declining this because I don't need another shit creature, or is it not? What's 12? All right. Okay. Could have been Mare, but I can get this card out now. I have mana sinks already, so Leafkin Druid's a lot better. Angel's gonna make this Sky Scanner huge, which seems really relevant to everything. And I can actually start attacking. He's at 37, which is a bitch. Okay, so a million decision points there. Totally reasonable to be second guessing my decisions there. So from my perspective, with the number of cards we had left, our opponent's HP, it just feels like the way I win is I Vivian ult here. I could have minus to blow up the enchantment on the Griffin to unlock that Griffin immediately, but I'm pretty sure then I don't get to plus Vivian before the game ends. So I don't know, right? A lot of decisions there. Just this is Magic, right? A shit ton of decisions. A guy drew a land for the first time and conceded? Probably. Hey, we got to Recollect Vivian for the win. I mean, that feels pretty good, right? That's why both those... I mean, that's why Recollect's in the deck is for Vivian and the board clear. Yeah, we hit 5. Prediction paid out. Yeah. All right, think we get to 7, chat?
Returned.
Okay. Wait, will we get to 7 wins is not compliant with our content guidelines? What? Why not? What is wrong with will we get to 7 wins? But will, oh my god, that's bizarre. Okay. It's offensive in many languages. I'll take your word for it. Thanks, Tombulus, for 30 months, man. Welcome back. All right. That is awful, Tom. Awful. All right, I mean... going second with this hand, all white mana again. Is this like the 4th game in a row where it's just been... Alright, drew a dead card. Does this matter? No, not yet. Okay. Now it matters, because we have a 3 and a 4. I don't love it on board, but okay. The problem with having it on board is our opponent will play different because it's there. We'll play with different creatures in a different order. But there is mana efficiency. There might not be mana efficiency. For example, if I don't draw forest here, there's no mana efficiency. But I could potentially draw forest here, and then it's spider into Griffin. And then I want that on, because if I don't draw land again, I have 4 mana for that. So that's the plan. I didn't play it on turn 1 because I had no 2-drops. And there's only 1 2-drop in the deck I could top deck that would let me play it with just white mana. So wasn't too worried about that turn. Yeah, it pissed me off too, Disheveled Human. This game is tilty as fuck, and when you're drinking, it's even more tilty because you miss a little bit more. You're a little bit worse at playing, a little bit worse at drafting, a little bit more. The complicated board states are a little bit harder, and you have a little bit less emotional regulation. So whenever I drink and play this game, it gets me so angry. So this is now Griffin as opposed to Netcaster Spider. It's a bit clunky right now, this board, since he's not really... A part of me almost just like wants to not like play more creatures. I mean, this still challenges the mage. We'll see. Yeah. Capture Sphere is great for us. It's fine. Can run out of Spider here. Could just nuke his mage. Okay. Can feat away that Capture Sphere if I want to. End of his turn, perhaps. Having a 3/4 flyer is okay. So he's going to bounce his Exclusion Maid and then draw again. Okay. I don't think I care. I mean, it's a very complicated play, I guess, but does it do anything? Draws him a card, I guess, for casting a 2/2. Sure. I feel like that's more annoying than it is relevant. Okay. Spider plus feet. I'm really considering Cleansing Nova for some value here, so I don't really want to spend resources to get rid of Captivating Sphere. Yeah. See, now I'm getting excited. He's investing a lot of resources into doing things like this. Now the board clear is super nice. I'm happy to play it out for a 4-for-1. That seems good enough. Okay. Hopefully just plays some weak flyer. I don't want to see like a Colossal Dread. That's a card that's fucking annoying right now. I can just buy back Wrath, take 5. It's kind of annoying because then I 2-for-1 myself here. 4-for-2, yeah. I mean, I can Wrath to beat it. Yep, we got screwed by the 1 turn for sure. I think I have to buy it back, unfortunately. It really telegraphs it too, so he's never going to play more into this board, annoyingly. But I don't think anything else beats this card for us, so we're going to do it. Okay. Hexproof does not prevent cleansing. Cleansing is a... So Hexproof prevents the creature being targeted, but cleansing doesn't target. It destroys all creatures as opposed to target creature, right? So he gets 5 and a Scry here, which is pretty brutal, and takes 2 cards and 2 of our turns to play this. It's a lot of negative tempo for us. But, I mean, what else am I going to do with this hand? He could counter this if he has it. If he counters this, I'm pretty rough shape. I'm pretty rough shape with this on board too. So unsummon Gandalf to the extreme. That sucks. Okay. So we can get to 6 power on this spider, right? The axe plus the feet plus his base. So it's 1 off killing it. So I need 1 more blocker. So we need to draw a creature here or we're in some serious trouble. Opponent just drew a way to make this uninteractable fuck me game. Alright. So what does this look like? I'm taking 5 this turn and giving him a scry, which is brutal. So I think we nuke the 2-1. I can block and kill it if it gives it flying. It doesn't have 7 power, chat, right? Oh, I see. 4 and 6. Okay, good call. Would he give it flying, though? If he gives it flying. Oh, he's... Yeah, only if he gives it flying. I can't untap them now. Oops. I guess there's a universe in which he does that. I mean, he's never going to pay to give that flying, though. This creature blocks flying. There's just not a world in which he does that, is the problem. I can't dart the 5-7. That's never even in contention. I'm going to dart the 2-1. I think maybe without the mana committed, but he's just never going to do it, right? So it looks kind of nice that we can actually get the spider to 7 power if he flies it, but he's never going to fly it on this board. Does this matter? I don't think this matters. Okay. Bounce tribal. A little annoying. Leafkin Druid is fine. It's just a chump. It's not good. Any creature with power was better than that, but it's still okay. Two, 4, 5. Okay. But we're in a lot of trouble with the scry. The spider trades for the ghostlight unless I feat, so I have to feat. Okay. There's no way to play around anything here that I'm aware of. Okay. Hey, Smokestacks, thanks. He's not close enough I can race. I just have to fucking block this. Dude, top deck's an air elemental. I mean, that's... So we're what? We're chumping with our angel. Trading the spider. It's a 5-7 on an empty board. I don't think we get here with this. Yeah. So where were the decision points here? There was a decision point about when we wrathed, but he had Boar, Mage, and Baron on the table with us having only a tapped Griffin. There was a decision point about removing the capture sphere earlier with feet. And that's about it for decision points, right? So I can't even gang block the how do I even say this? Megalodon, because I can't not block the air elemental because it's a lethal attacker. So it's just chump and feel fucking horrible about this. I guess technically I should do that. Okay. Decision of mulliganing. Okay. Good game. Yeah, it feels a little bit bad about the Wrath, for sure. We could have maybe tried to delay longer by not rebuying the Wrath. The problem was we weren't particularly close to being able to rebuy and cast on the same turn. So if we waited, we were going to take 10 or 5 per round by waiting. Feels kind of bad. Okay. You think if the opponent was playing well, they'd play around Wrath? No. No, they wouldn't. Not in draft like that, they wouldn't. This hand's fine. We go first. Wrath's so rare, you don't play around it. Not until you've seen it once. Or until you're so far ahead that the game is over. And the game was not over. from that position. So maybe we should have waited on the rebuy to get it back on the same turn. Maybe. I mean, he had that unsummon in hand, and that unsummon was never going anywhere. So we would get, I mean, we know about that unsummon. We can't use that to make our decisions for us in that location because we didn't know about it then. But a lot of our plays would have gotten blown out by that unsummon anyways, right? Like if we had tried to feat our Griffin, maybe that would still been okay. Just tough to say. Okay. A Wall of Mist. Okay. Celestial Enforcer is entirely blanked by wall. Netcaster Spider is entirely blanked by wall. If he has removal, the Spider is a more valuable target than the Enforcer for now. I've got more white mana though. I kind of want to use my 1 green. I don't have a second green card in hand. I don't know if it matters which one here. I think the Spider is slightly more valuable, so maybe I should bait with the Enforcer, but I'm not convinced I'm going to want to play Enforcer, or want to play Spider on a later turn, and I'm not convinced if he has removal he uses it on Enforcer at all. So it blanks that, which is nice. I have options here. I'm actually going to leave mana open here. I don't think Enforcer changes the board. I can play it later. If I play it next turn, for example, I can keep Feat of Resistance out while playing Enforcer. And this turn right now, Caster Spider eats Wind Mage. And potentially, when he plays a card to give it Prowess, so it trades, I can blow him out there. At least get some value out of his hand. Okay. I feel like I'm playing into Counterspell, but I feel like this card is fine to be countered. I need to work through that Counterspell to get Herald on play eventually. It's fine. Even if it's Bone to Ash, sucks it's Bone to Ash and not like a cancel because he gets value out of it, but I gotta get through it, right? Okay. I would like to get this Wind Mage off the board. Is he going to equip it? Is that the plan? Make it a 4/4? Oh, it's 2. Never mind, he can't. Is this only blocked by 1? Okay. So he's got a 3/3 created here. Shields are down, though. So I think I can just Herald this turn. Island Pause. Unsummon, huh? That's unfortunate. Okay. It's a big anti-tempo play for us, annoyingly. Didn't cast it if he had it. I don't know of any other blue 1 mana spells in this format that I can think of right now. I guess Opt's in here, but it seems weird to be holding Opt right now. Maybe he just wants it for the Prowess trigger. Are there other ones I'm missing, chat, for blue 1 manas? Does it matter the order here? I have no tap lands in my deck. I'm not worried about discard here. There might be a world in which I want to play both these spells while casting this. Okay, so land down first. Draw. Could have pause on? Yeah, could. Most people don't play full control. It's too much of a pain in the ass. How do I feel about attacking onto this board? So my 4/4... I don't think I like attacking here. So my 4/4 holds back his 3/3, kind of. He has full mana open if I attack, but I'm not too worried about it with 2 protective spells in my hand. Alright, I think I pass here. And I think my plan is to set up pumps on the Sky Scanner. He's going to bounce it now. I don't think I can... I don't know, I'm at 20. Maybe I shouldn't bother. But I'm going to protect here from that. Not super exciting there, honestly. Okay. I very rarely see it at low level drafts. Sometimes Wizard does see it. It feels like players who start the game think it's a great idea, then realize how painfully excruciatingly it is to do that. I mean, another 4/4 flyer is pretty nice here. It's just not amazing. Dude. Alright, I guess drawing a land here is fine. We're going to be pumping Skyscanner. I don't want to pump pre-con. Again, like this board is just kind of where it is right now. I got to draw some gas, run like 10 lands or something. Oh, come on. That card is so good for him right here. It's 5 mana, draw 2 cards that he's just played on 7 with exactly 7 mana open. Like that's a good game right there. I got to draw fucking Wrath, I guess. Ugh, that's so bad. I have 1 removal spell that can hit that. Yeah, I could Angelic Ascension it. It's pretty unexciting to take my protective spell out of my hand and convert his 2/1 into a 4/4 flyer. I think on average, a 4/4 flyer beats his first 2 draws. I mean, certainly it doesn't beat if he's drawn like 6 times or something, then it's better. But I can't even prevent 2 of them, right? Because this effect always is going to go off. So he always gets 2 cards out of this. I mean, this is flooding, right? This is what flooding looks like. I don't even think I can attack this turn, right? Because I think what I end up having to do is get Skyscanner out of the strength where he can gang block it. Which means I need it at about 6 power, or at least threatening 6 toughness, rather. So I think this turn is, again, as shitty as it feels right now, I think it's pass. Let him draw a million cards here. Pump my Skyscanner twice on his end step. Then attack him with Skyscanner next turn, I think. Now, if he has a bounce spell, it's not great for him bouncing Skyscanner, but if I invest 16 mana into Skyscanner and he bounces it, it's pretty bad too. Yeah, I don't think I beat this Archaeologist. It was just too strong at that stage in the game, right? So we need Wrath. Dart's okay for Archaeologist, but he's already drawn 4. He's likely... I mean, I guess if I draw Dart next turn, it's okay. Why not Angelic Ascension is lol? I'm not sure what you're referencing. Why not what? No Dart. Skyscanner's here. 5 and 4 is 9. Brings us to 10. Doesn't get us any closer. I mean, it gets us slightly closer to 12. Not super important right now. I guess it holds Angelic Ascension while double pumping. Do I start swinging with this Skyscanner? I've got a lot of damage in the air. He's got a fair number of attackers on board, but he's not going to risk the 2/1. I don't care about the 1/1. I can block the 2/3. I think I start swinging with this scanner. I don't want to double pump before swinging. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But if he doesn't block, I can double pump. Again, he did have that pause on 1 blue mana. If there's an unsummon here, for example, for my Herald, it's really nasty. Is he going to unsummon his Wind Mage, maybe? I mean, who wants to gang block it? Alright, so I actually think then this is... I think this is unsummon. Because I think what he actually gets me to do is invest all my mana here. So I pump once here to bring it to 6 to kill them both, and he unsummons. I say fine. He's going to pump. I have both Angelic and the other one in response here. So currently I'm killing both his creatures and no loss. Rookie Mistake. So what does it do? So it brings that to a 3/6, puts us at 4. We can only pump to 5. We kill nothing. It's pretty nasty. I could right now Ascension his Elemental, converting this 3/4 into a 4/4, and then I still kill his Wind Mage. Is that worth anything? That doesn't feel worth anything. I don't lose the creature right now. He goes to 6 power, so we just pump it again. Oh no, hold on. Alright. It's annoying. Yep. Maybe there was an ordering that we could have done differently. 5 power would have killed this thing if we had put the Drake in first. Now, with Unsummon, would it have mattered? If we're only playing around that, I didn't remember this. When I asked for blue tricks, I totally forgot about Rookie Mistake. I don't think anyone in chat nailed it either. So I'm not playing around a card I don't know that's there, dude. He just planeswalkered me on this board. Are you fucking kidding me?
I am Predator, you are prey.
I can remove this with Ascension.
Accept your fate.
But that feels like a good game here. I think we're going to flood out of this game. I didn't have to pump there. Yes, I did. He had 6 power on the board. So I had to pump there to go to 7. And I had to go to 6 toughness to beat his 5 damage. Pass to attackers. So he's just giving me priority. I think I removed this fucking thing. Feels bad. You're confused why Mystic Archaeologist has drawn him 6 cards. It hasn't. It's drawn him 4 cards. When I have Angelic Ascension in hand, because when he played Archaeologist, he had 7 mana on the board. So he played it with 2. So if I Ascensioned it, he immediately draws 2 cards out of that. And I trade a card for his card, then he gets 2 cards and a 4/4 flyer out of it. You're confused as to why I might not want to make that trade? That seems quite reasonable why I don't want to make that trade. So currently Spider doesn't die to that, but there's no way he attacks into this without a trigger, a spell. So what I'm actually going to do is trade Spider for Air Elemental and Herald for this. Could just take the 3 and block this thing too. How much do I care about the 2/3? I care about my bodies right now is all. Try that. Let's try value blocking on this board. What is a Planeswalker? The creature I just removed is a Planeswalker. Dude, it's Titanic, bro, so we can't even play around it. Opponent's got everything. Way more cards, so it makes sense. We're flooding. I mean, I can't beat that, though. If we flood and he's got all the things, we're in really bad shape. Unfortunately. Can't even swing with the 7/7. I guess we're in a Wrath waiting room. I can't now. I'm never going to recur the Spider. So I think we are play out both, unfortunately. Pass turn. Okay. No one plays Rookie Mistake? Yeah, it's a bad card, I think, too. A nice 2 mana. This is a bomb card in M19. Okay. Playing out a 2/3 Pack Beast with no recursion sucks ass. Time to mill opponent out? Maybe. Does he also have Unsummon? We'll see. He's 9 mana right now, so he probably starts to double draw off this. He's at 17 cards. Seems like mill's not going to be there. What we have to do is get a really sick Wrath here. And I need to hold cards to do that, but I can't hold cards versus this board. There's too much aggression on the board, right? Even if he just hits me with flyers right now, it's fucking scary as shit. And I can't be taking chip damage off the Wolf and the Scorpion. Wolf's actually a really annoying attacker too, since I can't gang block it because of Saddle, which makes a 3/3 on this board is rough. So we basically have probably this turn to draw Wrath. And if we only have this turn to draw Wrath, maybe the turn after. This is already the equivalent of 2 damage this turn and next turn, which is as good as that one. I think I'm blocking this. I can remove the Archaeologist. Is that good enough right now? Is there a better target than the Archaeologist? Maybe if he doesn't want to spam into this board state and thinks he's far enough ahead that he can wait. Could remove the Angel I generated, but it's pretty expensive. Well, there is another play. The other play is that we're banking on Wrath in the next turn or two. If we don't hit it in the next turn, we're probably dead. I might just remove a higher power creature than the Archaeologist. But I think I will. I think I'll remove that. I'm not excited by this news. The thing that he could do if I don't play more creatures on this board and don't remove that Archaeologist is just store up cards in his hand and keep pushing me on the board. So I don't know. He's got enough cards in his library. I'm not worried about him decking. He's at 14, right? We're in bad shape though, chat. That card's not playable either. So he's playing at least 2 cards that are just kind of dog shit. Rookie Mistake's really bad. That's quite bad. This card's quite bad. I don't know. I don't like his deck. If I ever play EDH, I don't. Target creature. What is this? Okay. Alright, so we're just value blocking all day here. Where are our value blocks? That pump was pretty rough. Maybe not value blocking. Maybe we are also jumping. I don't think I can take this damage. Like, we're gonna die, right? So can I block like that? Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12. 3. Is that right? Can't play that card. 3, 6, 9, 12. Go to 1. Is 1 different than chumping and going to 3? I don't think so. 3, 6, 9, 12. All right. The problem is, Victor, the saving 2 life here doesn't really get me anywhere, right? Like 3 is still dead on this board. We know the card that saves us, right? The card that saves us is currently Vivian. Or not Vivian, the Wrath. Spider does not get us there. Okay. Pteranodon doesn't attack next turn. Would that have made a difference if we were at 3? We'd have 1 less blocker, we'd be at 3. He'd have another 1/1 on the board. So you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, he can actually get this to be attacking, right? He just moves Saddle to it to make it a 4/4 so it can attack. So that's not true either. We don't even disable Pteranodon. I think we're just dead on board. All right. I can't win from here, obviously. Dude, to go 5-2 then 5-1 then immediately 7 sucks. These are very low quality cards. I mean, not very. I mean, Wall of Mist is garbage with his deck here, but I don't think it matters. The Archaeologist beat us here, right? That's the problem. Didn't make that bigger. We still die. Feels bad, chat. Feels bad. Okay. I guess with no cards at hand, he doesn't have to move it over, but maybe he didn't see it. All right, 5 with our deck. Choose outcome. No. Surprised that one didn't go to 7. I don't know. We make a lot of mistakes when we play, or I make a lot of mistakes when I play anyways. So part of it could be skill level there. Part of it's bad draws. We flooded the fuck out, and that game's super hard. Is the guy still in chat? Chewy's still in chat. I wanted to know what the game was. The deck was, right? Here's the deck. The deck's kind of medium, right? We lack removal, and we lack cheap removal, so a card like Archaeologist is particularly good versus our deck. So this was our deck. We drew a lot of games where we only had plains and no forests. We did run 9 plains as opposed to 8 forests for the early Shieldmare, and the Cleansing Nova was the thought process with Vivian and the other green mana cards being a little bit less essential to get early. So I don't think the mana was wrong. It would have been lovely to have some fixing of some sort, but we didn't. The other cards we could have played were the Sniper. I'm glad we didn't. We had plenty of ways to saturate our mana by and large. The Dryad, I think, would have been bad in this deck. I'm glad we cut that. Celestial Enforcer was really bad. Could have been Basilisk or the other last card we were playing instead. But I think it was okay too. We got carried by Season of Growth. I'm glad that ended up making our deck. Our 5 wins were often because we drew that early. Yep, Jang, for sure. So I don't know. I feel like there's a pretty scripted draft for us. With first pick Cleansing Nova, second pick Vivian, it's really hard to get away from either white or green core, especially when the next couple cards are not something that really pulls us in that direction. The deck worked out okay. The spiders were great. We had our game plan, which was Dirtle and then draw it. We just the part of the problem was we only drew Vivian 1 game, right? We played 7 games with this, 5 wins, 3 losses, 8 games, I guess. Played 8 games with this. Drew Vivian once. Cleansing Nova did what it's supposed to do. Had a lot of value out of Ascension and Feet. Light removal, but that's sometimes how it goes in drafts. I don't know. I'm not upset with this outcome. Like, I think it went okay. I think if we'd gotten a little less bad luck in that final game, I think we would have probably won that and gone on to 6-2 playing for Game 7. Curious if anyone else has other thoughts. Did I get value out of Pack Beast in the other games? Yes. We played Pack Beast either 3 or 4 times, and it hit every time except for the last time, which is the nature of Pack Beast, right? Like, we were forced to play it because of pressure, which sucks, but we weren't trying to be in that position to be it. Anyways, so be it. Wait, where's my gem? I got my gems back. It just doesn't tell me. How many gems was it? How many? I guess we can look. If I go to, so what was that? We hit 5 wins. So 1,600 gems. Okay, that's nice. So you do make your money back on 5. That's interesting. Standard bot draft experience. That wasn't bot draft. That was human draft, disheveled human. So I don't know what standard bot draft experience means here, except you're still trolling. Changes that I've made from my side deck. That was what we were just post-morteming there. I think our decision process was still where we wanted it to be for that. Tried out a couple cards we hadn't played. The Shaper was quite good. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck passes Vivian pack 1, pick 1 as a player, but that's what happened. Agreed. No fucking idea who passes Vivian. Am I back to MTG today? No. Back as I played Saturday and Sunday of last week. I'm not really planning to be back here for long with MTGA. It's kind of a nice filler game in between. I wanted to play Core Set a little bit since it's the middle of the season. I didn't really want to jump into a draft format that is pretty well established that I'm not familiar with, which is Kaldheim or whatever it is right now. But I am enjoying drafting M19. I'm enjoying this rather. All right, pack 1, pick 1. Dude, I don't understand how this isn't fixed yet. Why is this? This is like an M19, like, what do they call it? Run, where these 3 cards always show up together. So Johnny's Last Stand is a scam. And the power level of every card in this deck, every common in this pack, which is a pretty high power level for commons, is not as powerful as the uncommons here. So these 3 cards are our decision-making process. There is a lot of recursion in this format, so Sovereign, like grindy Sovereign decks are fine. A 4/3 Angel that attacks for 2, that gives you 2 healing when attacking is fine, and Murder's like premium removal. So I don't know is the answer to this. As pack 1, pick 1, I'm really tempted to grab Murder. It's a little bit annoying. It doesn't cut black fully because the Sovereign's there, but we can't cut white fully either, right? With both Ajani's Last Stand, which I think is overrated, I don't think it's very good, and Herald in there. So I can't really cut a color. I can't really signal shit, and like I'm picking between these. So I'm gonna run Murder. I don't know. I don't love black in this format, but I also don't hate black in this format. So I'll hear it from chat what your thoughts are on that, but that's kind of where I'm at there. Interesting second pick. Bayleth is good, but not incredible in this format. I don't like Take Vengeance. It's just so much worse than the instant speed one. And Salvager's interesting, but there's 3 of these creatures in this format that bring you back instants and sorceries, and this one is the weakest of the 3. So I'm not in a rush for that either. I also think white. I think you get pushed into white too rapidly in this format because you draft always in the same order. It's M19, M20, M21. I think M19 of those three, I think M19 has the best white commons, right? Between Luminous Bonds, Stag, Pegasus Corsair, and Angel of Dawn. Like, I feel like I get pushed into white all the time from nice commons early, and then they don't pan out later because white isn't as strong in 20 and 21. Blue-black control with Salvager is super nice. I agree. I agree 100%. But I still think I should take Bailiff here for the argument I already presented, which is there's a fair number of other cards like Salvager of Secrets in this format, and Salvager itself isn't super high contested. All right. So I don't want to be tied to green just because we speculated there. Some interesting cards here. The Brute's nice. Lich's Caress is fine. It's a bit slow. Symbiont's nice. Symbiont, the problem is, commits us to blue. We kind of want to be in blue a little bit, but not super hard. I still think I'm taking this over first Lich's Caress. There's a lot of black removal, and we already started with Murder, and you can run up with too many removal cards pretty easily. So I think I'd rather Symbiont than Lich's Caress here. I can play black-green, sure, I can, but I'm not so excited by a 5/5 Vigilant, no trample, 5-mana card that I need to be locked into green with that. This is a very easy card to splash if I end up blue-green base too. I just think it's a higher power level than any other card here. If I didn't have Murder, I'd maybe be eyeballing Caress, but Caress is only really good in the black-white synergy decks where you're getting life gain synergy. Otherwise, it's just a 5-mana sorcery, destroy a creature, which is really medium. And you might take that when you have no other removal, but I first picked Murder. And we're playing black in this format, and there's a ton of black, so I'm okay to wait. So here, there's Salvager again. Luminous Bonds is pretty bomb removal. Not incredible. There's a few ways to sack creatures in this format. There's a bit of enchantment hate, and there's better options like pacifism. So I'm not sold on this, but Fountain of Renewal does nothing with this deck. And Gargoyle Sentinel is not a bomb in any way, shape, or form. So we could take Luminous Bonds and see if white is something we end up being, or we could take Salvager and try to build that blue-black recursion synergy deck. I'm okay with either. We passed white really early in the pack. It hasn't been much more good white since then, but there's going to be people who took white out of that, right? Kind of okay to grab Salvager here. I like the blue-black grindy or blue-green grindy. Or not blue-green, I mean black-green grindy. Dream Descenter's fine. All right, so now we just got paid off, which is Rise is pretty good for us. It's one of the cards we're looking for the black kind of recursion theme. There's no white cards in this pack. Other black and blue cards are medium. Scholar's, I don't even think Scholar's fine. Scholar is playable. Child of Night is low tier playable. There's the life synergy. Marauder's Axe is fun, but I'm happy with the Rise from the Grave here. How do I like Zombie? Do you mean, do I think there's zombie synergies in this format? Not really. I drafted a deck on Monday where I had Liliana first pick, the zombie Liliana, and couldn't do anything with it. Oh, two-headed zombie? Two-headed zombie's fine. It's less good in this format, right? There's a lot of ground shit in this format, and a lot of that ground shit has 2 power. All right, looking at this, Dwindle is okay here. I think better than Child of Night. The green cards are really unexciting. There's the Cav. There's a red-black duel. I think I'd take first Dwindle over red-black duel for now, with a nod towards Child of Night as second pick. Yeah. All right, another Dwindle, a Diamond Mare. I'm not actually that keen on Diamond Mare. You want life gain synergies for this card to matter or be mono, and even then it doesn't really matter. There's a Gearsmith Guardian, which tends to get quite a lot of value if you're playing blue. It's either Dwindle or Gearsmith Guardian. We just picked up one Dwindle and we're maining black, likely here. I can't recur Dwindle with Salvager. And it's not premium removal since there is both hate on that and sacrifice effects. I think I'm leaning towards first Guardian here. It's a very unexciting card, but it's fine. Oh, we have a lot. Oh, do we have a lot of 5s though? I don't know. All right, Switcheroo, Scholar, Uncomfortable Chill. I mean, we don't have to play it either. Declare Dominance is incredible. We're not very close to green right now. We have a pretty nice mix of blue and black. Seems weird to see that. There's a Mind Rot in there, which I don't want to play, and there's a Switcheroo. Switcheroo is pretty damn greedy, but we might find some shit cards. Blue tends to have a bunch of shit blockers, right? Do we play Switcheroo for power level and hope to get paid out for it? The Scholar, we have an artifact. There might be some synergies. I don't really want Scholar. Switcheroo has a much higher power level. Trading them like Wall of Mist for like flyers is great. All right, here's actually hard because I wouldn't mind this Scholar. I wouldn't mind a Marauder's Axe too. Switcheroo can be recurred as well. It's also a 2-drop zombie. That's hard, man. We're hoping for better 2-drops than this, but we do need some 2-drops. It's really close. I like Axe. Axe might have been good enough to take there. There's some more Artifacts Matter stuff. We don't really have an Artifact Matters theme deck, but we might get there, and we might be able to take advantage of Switcheroo with some weak creatures. I don't like Uncomfortable Cho. We just took the Corpse. I don't feel like I have to take another Corpse. Although maybe Corpse is better than the one guy Artifact Matter shits. He's a really bad card. So pretty unexcited by this pack, clearly. I like the rocks. I'm not splashing green in here. I don't mind getting, if I'm gonna take low value picks, I might as well take the low value picks that let me take better value picks later. So getting my 2-drops taken care of. Citrus Supplier has some synergy with our deck. I don't know if it's enough synergy, but it might be. Yeah, Spores is in there. Spores is a pretty shit card though, chat. The reason why it's so late is it's not good removal. I'm actually really tempted to take Stitcher Supplier. Synergies with our Rise from the Grave and our Salvager of Secrets and our Switcheroo is pretty damn good. I think that might have been the pick. If I knew, I don't mind self-null. If I knew enough. If I were a better player, I would have that answer more clear. We took Spores. Spores is whatever. Okay. Alright, I don't know what this card does. Scheming Symmetry. Choose 2 target players. Each of them shuffles their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. Fuck, that doesn't sound very good. We're not green. What's black in here? We've got a Thief. It's not very relevant to our card, to our deck archetype so far, but it is the best card here. So maybe we hope to wheel like the Jungle Hollow and find a green card or something. But this pack sucks for us. Burglar is an upgrade over Walking Corpses, but not by a whole lot. We're not really going to be playing Rapid Bite. Thief is great, but it's great as an attacking card. If we don't have cards like Axe and whatnot to enable it, this isn't really a deck that's going to be doing a lot of attacking. So if we top deck this on like turn 4 or something, or turn 5, Pacifism's in there too. Just saw that. I'm going to take Thief. I feel like we're pretty black-blue right now. Alright, how dirtily you want to go? This figure's great. 1 mana, 2/2, -2. Often just kills something straight out or a trick. There's Portal here. Portal often wheels, but Portal is a card that we could actually use in a deck like this. Not with these creatures yet, but Symbiont cares about it, as does Salvager. I guess we hope to wheel that. I like Portal too. I see it show up all the time though on wheels. It's very slow and very clunky. I think we take our cheap removal combat tricky stuff first and then move on. It's tempting. There's another payoff card for the black-blue recursion deck, which is Scholars. I think Scholars a better salvager, honestly. A bigger body, much more expensive, but gets 2. We do want instants and sorceries for this deck. Happy to take Scholar. I'd love to pick Soul Salvage. This would be another great card for this deck, but maybe we can get there on the wheel. Probably not, but I'm still taking Scholar here. Alright, I mean, our deck is starting to get pretty slow and heavy. We need some early game, like 3-drops in particular. I have trouble finding good black 3-drops that aren't Thallid. So we've got a Boreal Elemental at 5. It's our first big flyer, and we've got Cutthroat on 2. We do have cards that we might cast on the opponent's turn, things like our instant speed removal. So Cutthroat's okay. It's a decent 2-drop. It might still be there. I don't see it go super early. I just don't know if a 3/4 flyer is something we care about. I think it might be. I don't like this card though. I find the 4/4 flyers way better than this. Alright, there's a 3-drop. There's a Bone Splinter. Bone Splinter has really nice synergy with like the recursion and the salvager stuff because it's cheap removal. And there's a Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. I like Lynx. Linux. I don't know how to say that. I think it's Lynx. Thank you, Father
Man,
Potatoes.
I can never keep streaks.
Pack's pretty good. Yeah, it is. I'll take this. If we wheel axe or wheel splinters, it's probably okay. Punish here. So we missed our... whatever the card was up against, the flash guy. It's not that big a deal, I guess. So Vial of Dragonfire. It's okay. Raptor's pretty bad. And another 5-drop. Do we just take Raptor because we need a fucking 4-drop? Like, I don't want more 5-drops in this deck. At all. But they're both so bad. Alright, Octoprophet as a 4-drop blocker. Nothing else here in blue or black. I'm probably taking that. I don't want to play Zephyr's Charge. It just really doesn't fit the deck we're running at all. We're not really anywhere else. Pack 2's not been so great for us, huh? There's an Unsummon, a Blade Brand. I like Blade Brand. It's a nice one for trading up with little shitty tokens. We could play this and never cast cards again. Unsummon's alright too. We have 2 recursions of cheap spells. Blade Brand's okay with that too. They're both fine here. Maybe this is slightly better. It's less defensive, but we can bounce our own Scholars. I'm really surprised to see Barkhide Troll Wheel. I don't want any of these other cards. I'm never playing Frilled Sea Serpent in this deck ever, right? Right. So just take an uncommon, I guess. There's no way I play this, right? Yeah. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It does look like green is pretty open. There's a shitty counter, a shitty bird, and a shitty 5-drop. What do you guys want? We don't have life gain, so this card does nothing. This is a 5-mana 4/4. I guess we take shitty counterspell and don't play it. I don't want second burn. I know. More 5-drops is like suicide for this deck. Soul Salvage Wheel. That's the first nice pickup we've gotten out of the last half of this pack. There's a crab in here. It's a 4-mana 1/6. Is that or a red Speculation? I don't know if there's any one red mana bombs. I think I'd take the crab. Might even get played here, sadly. Okay. If I were never going to play the crab, then clearly the dual land is better. But I'm really struggling for creatures here. What does this creature do? 1/3, when you gain life, target opponent loses that much. Creatures you control gain lifelink. That's interesting. 6-mana Kraken. The 7-mana red one. 3-drop zombie, a fetid imp at 2. This pack is pretty good for us. We're hoping to wheel some of this shit. I don't think we have the life gain to make this worth. A 3-mana 1/3 that generates lifelink some of the time with our board. Our deck isn't super good. I think the imp is exactly what we want. It's a Death Toucher. It's cheap. It's flying, so it blocks everything. We can recur it with our graveyard recursion if we want. That seems good. Okay. All right, Thalad's pretty nice 3-drop. That's pretty premium removal at 5. I mean, it's 5, which is expensive as fuck. Our deck's going to be struggling with mana, but it's quite good. What is this thing? That thing's bad. I'll play Opt, fine. This is between Thalad and Finishing Blow. We have other removal. What do we have for 3-drops? We've got the 2/2, another 2/2. That Thalad seems really solid. But what do we have? We just have 2 pieces of removal. It's just Disfigure. Dude, I hope we wheel the Thalad. This is where we might get paid off, right? All right. A lot of blue in this. So shitty blue removal that we can't recur. Shitty blue counter spells. This dude is really optimistic. I just see him trade most of the time. Just dies. Another fetid imp. Is Baron good enough to play? It's nice late. It's a 3-drop. I think we take that and hope to wield the imp. I might even play Meteorite. We'll see. This is close though. The problem with this card, chat, is it's good later, but we don't necessarily need good later value, right? We kind of need earlier shit to be alive here. We never took that axe. There's a short sword here, which is okay. I don't like Enscarring. This pack is entirely green. So it's Arcanist, Capture Spear. We need 2-drops. I don't hate Arcanist. We don't have any instants. We do have instants and sorceries, just not a lot. I think it's good enough. This is a mana dork as an early game. It's not exciting, but I think it's better than first Capture Sphere. It will probably be here though, right? Whereas I'm not sure Capture Sphere wheels. So many decisions, right? It's the fun part about this game. I like this card. I like the sacrifice effect on that. I don't like this card, although I get beat by it occasionally. There's nothing else in here for blue or black. Do we want a 4-drop 3/4? It's better than the Fortress Crab. I don't think we play this. I think it's too slow. We have other ways to win. I don't know what it is right now. I think it's recurring Boreal Elemental and hitting them for 3 until they die of boredom. All right. That's a 5-drop Roaming Ghostlight. I think this card is excellent. I'd love Opt to come around. It won't. I don't want the black card. I don't need white mana. And the Larcenist is kind of whatever. We have too many 5-drops. Blue-white dude, a 2/3 in blue. I'll take a Village Rites here. It's actually really solid. We might overdraw in this deck, but I think it's better than a 2/3. 2/3 doesn't seem great in this format to me. I like 3/2 a lot more. Okay. Blue-white splash white. No. The value in splashing is power level at the cost of consistency. That's what splashing does for you. And at the moment, we don't have power level off a white card. That just isn't a strong enough thing to justify a splash. That the Flying Lord doesn't matter. You're never going to be able to splash a 2-drop flyer. It just doesn't work. Kraken Wield. It's nice. This is pack 1. Is this the pack we had Thallid in it? It might have been. I don't remember. So we missed the portal wheeling. We did not get Opt wheeling. I'm never playing. Am I playing this card? Maybe I'm playing this card. I'm never playing that. Okay. Capture Sphere wheeled. So we managed to cut blue. No one's picking these blue cards. Definitely don't want that. Question is, do we want Larcenist or Capture Sphere? I think I'd prefer Sphere to capture to Larcenist. Didn't we just take a 2/3 as well? Yeah, we did. All right. Getting scammed. Green's open. Looks like we were contesting people for black, which is kind of annoying. Got our Larcenist anyways. Okay. All right. So what do we do with this deck? Bone Splinter didn't wheel. The Portal didn't wheel. The Thallid didn't wheel. So there's definitely someone taking our black cards. So we try to be as strong as we can while not overdoing the dirtle shit, essentially. So cards I'm really considering cutting are these. Maybe Dwindle. I think I prefer Dwindle to Capture Sphere. I think with Crypt Larker and Octoprophet, I'm dropping Crab. I don't know that we got switcheroo targets, honestly. I don't want to trade off, and we didn't wheel the second Imp either. It's annoying. I don't want to trade off I mean, maybe sometimes we're okay giving Arcanist or Frostlinks after we've cast it. Is Switcheroo a high enough power level that we don't care? Let's just start by stripping these and then we'll re-add in a minute. What else? I don't know about Kraken. I don't know about Gearsmith. I don't know about Raptor. Octoprophet's questionable. We'll re-add in a second. What else? We have no card draw. What we actually have is a fair amount of... We have Scholar, Soul Salvage, Salvager of Secrets, and Rise from the Grave. Rise from the Grave isn't card advantage, but it is a 2-piece combo with either Scholar or Salvager. So how do we win? Just generate infinite value off our guys if we get further enough in. I don't think I have to worry about win cons with this deck. I feel like with Soul Salvage and the 2 Salvager plus Scholar, we probably win this eventually. So what we're trying to do is slow the game down enough that we can get to enough mana that we can go as close to infinite as we can. there any other cards that are never getting cut from this deck? That's still questionable too. I don't know about these. So like this core, Frilled Serpent's great on board stalls. It's really not. So this card is deceptively bad in a lot of different reasons, right? So first of all, it's a 4/6 for 6 in a deck that we have plenty of high mana cost cards in. So we don't want to draw all of our high mana cost cards because we die, right? We just don't get to do anything long enough. So if we manage to board stall at a very late stage of the game where we can regularly spend 7 mana on before our second main phase, then yeah, Frilled Sea Serpents is okay to get in for chip damage, but that's a very expensive way to get in 4 damage per round. So we don't want that. All right, what is this at creature-wise? Oops. We're at, where do I click to see that there? 11. So what are the cards that are potentially back in? We kind of could use another 2-drop. I hate to add a second Walking Corpse, but it's certainly in the cards potentially. I don't think this card is good enough. I don't want to give them a card that draws. We can't even really switcheroo it. Dwindle is kind of removal. Switcheroo is kind of greedy removal too. Octoprophet's a decent blocker, does something when it comes into play, and then dies while trading. Unsummon's fine with the deck running 2 Salvagers, kind of, and a Ghostlight. I mean, Unsummon might get us some value. The Elemental is a big flying blocker, but really our game plan doesn't... I mean, having flyers to kill them with might make a good enough game plan. The 3/4 flyer in of itself isn't particularly exciting, although it does have a reasonable sized butt, so it can kind of block. Spores is another removal piece. It's very expensive, but it does hit a fair number of flyers. Village Rites is just a very nice mana efficient way to get card advantage, generally off a chump block. This card lets us ditch mana for cards, which is slow but nice. Maybe not so nice for us. We utilize max mana well in the late game. I don't think we can afford to run a dead counter. And I don't think I can fit this card in my deck. It's strong, but it's not insanely strong. It's still a 4/6. We have no equipment and no combat tricks. So this card doesn't get through a lot of the ground stuff. All right, so what cards of these? There's also the 5/5 for 5. I don't really want another 5-drop. I don't want a 6-drop. Okay. Yeah, it does remove a blocker every turn. You can get through chip damage with it. I feel like, again, to keep offering the same way, I feel like the deck is designed to survive until it draws its recursion combos. When it hits its recursion combos, what we're trying to do is value them out. Now, that helps because it prevents blocking. But I feel like a very large percentage of the time, by the time we get our combos online, we're going to be behind on the board and behind on life total. This doesn't do anything defensively. All it does is offensive. So I don't think that's good enough for us here. Maybe we need another flyer. It's an argument for that too. All right, so this deck is really top-end heavy. It would be nice to play cards that get us to surviving. Octoprophet as a 3/3, kind of whatever. I like the Scry. We're a little light on creatures. All right, so we need 3 cards of these out. Which 3? Switcheroo. I mean, we can trade them all sorts of low value cards, right? Arcanist is often low value later. Imp is total 0 value if opponent's not playing black for them, although it is a death touch creature for us. Same with Mass Guard. He's just a 2-guard. He's a mass black girl. He's just a 2/1 if you traded someone without black mana. I don't want to trade them Thief. I can trade them Baron after we've cast it. It's just a body at that point. Frostlinks is the bottom too. I mean, we have bodies, right? The cards with ETBs that then don't do anything are just bodies, so they can be swapped. So there's some playability for Switcheroo, but it is another dead card and it's expensive, right? So if they are just removing our creatures or whatever else, we can get blown the fuck up from that. Yeah, cards like Unsummon seem good in this deck. We don't have a lot of card draw, so it's tough to get card advantage, and Unsummon is generally a little bit worse if you don't have card advantage, but it's really good tempo, and it does feel like we can die due to tempo. Village Rites has the same issue as Switcheroo. Maybe we could play Village Rites but not Switcheroo and call it good enough. I mean, we can chump block with like Baron and sack it to draw is always kind of nice. So maybe Unsummon. Cheap spells are super good with Recursion too, so we can actually play cards. Raptor's a flyer though, so you can't necessarily say we don't care about Raptor. Right now we have 2 flyers, a 5-drop and a 6-drop, and that's it. And we have a little bit of removal, but not a ton. We've got a Murder and a Disfigure, so we can get the shit kicked out of us by just flyers, right? And it's cheap. It's at 4. I don't know. It's not a good card. Don't get me wrong. White green went 5. Wow. We lost the next 2 games in a row. All right, I think we're running Dwindle here. That card seems to be an include here. It's cheap removal. We need it now. I think Octoprofit as a shit ETB body is fine. I think Boreal Elemental is another flyer. It's getting expensive. Oh, Jesus, I don't know. Maybe not that Octoprofit. So I think we're going to play Village Rites as well. So we need 2 cards of these 4 out. How many 3-drops do we have? 3. How many 2-drops do we have? Currently 3. Why is Filthy? Where is Filthy censored? Corpse and Switch out? I think Switch might be good, man. Is there any way we don't play this Elemental? Because kind of what I'd like to do is I kind of would like to cut Elemental and Corpse here and run Octoprofit, Strangling Spores, and Switcheroo. Well, we have a lot of sneaky plays with Switcheroo too, right? Because we have so much recursion of spells between the Scholars, we can do lots of things with Switcheroo. We have Unsummon as well, so we can swap. This returns to their owner's hand, so we can swap them a creature, then unsummon the creature back to our hand. Yeah, so I'm saying Spores is weak, but it kills a lot, and it is instant speed. A part of me wants to do this, right? I don't know if I can afford another 5-drop. So if we cut these, maybe Octoprofit could be Zombie. We could decide between these 2. So, wait, is it censored in my channel or is it censored everywhere? Cutting a 3/4 flyer in this deck is really, really questionable. Okay. All right, I think I'm doing that. All right. Good. It's a little top end heavy. There's an argument for Raptor versus Octoprofit, but I think I prefer the Prophet there. There's an argument for Prophet versus Corpse, but I think I prefer the Prophet there. It's an argument for Boreal Elemental. Feels weird not to be playing this card. It's just, our top end is so heavy. We're never cutting those. We're never cutting that. We're never cutting that. We're never cutting that. So I kind of feel like if we play Boreal Elemental, we can't play Switcheroo, and that might be fine. Never cutting Rise? You're probably right there. It probably is never cutting Rise. I was considering cutting Rise. Switcheroo seems fun. I haven't liked that card, honestly, and it really excels with token generators. Like if you cast like the 1/2 blue creature that summons a 1/1 flyer, or you're playing like a Scanner or something. The reason why it's currently in our deck is we have so many ETB creatures, right? Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 creatures. I'm always happy to, at least 4 that I'm pretty happy to trade them. I mean, I can trade them Salvager too, right? Like, especially if I'm running like Unsummoned Salvager. Like, we have a lot of ways we can make Switcheroo strong, and it ups our overall power level, even if it downgrades our early game a little bit for that. I'm going to try this. All right. What do you guys think? Can we get to 5? All right. I'm going to let you guys vote. We'll come back and play this in a minute. What do we want this name? I need a name and I need food. So I'm going to grab food. What's this one called? The deck is called 4. Chat, do we run? I think we run actually +1 black mana here too, by the way. Might be an 18 land deck. I wish we had card draw. Wait, what is this? Go away. Okay. Give me +1 black mana. All of our instant speed is black except for unsummon, right? So Strangling Spores, Murder, and what's the last one? And Village Rites, all on black instant speed and Disfigure. So I wanted to have extra black mana up and black mana for the Imp. So I think 9/8 makes more sense here. That way, kind of sucks we want a 3 mana for this guy all the time. It is a nice tempo card for bouncing the opponent's shit. But our first 2 1-drops are also, or 2-drops are black. What's the middle range? They're equal. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to grab food, chat. I'll be back in about 5 minutes and we'll start playing this. So back in a second. See you guys soon. All right. All right, I'm back, chat. Let's get going. What are we calling this deck? How many characters do I have? All right, done. Murder barely knew her. All right, ready to go? Ready to go. Thanks, Lord Steve. Welcome back, man. Does your mech grow in 50 months?
Wow, can't believe it's been so long.
No, 48 and 54, I guess. Okay. Ew. Alright, any land unlocks that. Black's our most common color in the deck, so we have 9 black sources. Don't have a ton of early game, but we've got a 3 and a 4 and the 3 bounces. I think this is fine. How am I doing? Doing well. Hollow Blade is essentially unbeatable for us. Alright, I guess I say that. Disfigure beats it. Forgot about Disfigure in our deck. Capture Sphere beats it too, kinda. I'm okay, just, can I target itself for a draw? No, it's another. Too bad. Okay. Yeah, we have, I guess we do have some options to beat it. It's a scary attacker though, because it just doesn't die, right? Alright, we need to draw a mana source, preferably a black mana source, but this is good too. It's a really clean answer. Could eat the 2/2 to keep going. Could tap it down for 4. I think I like Disfigure, get in for damage. Alright, next turn we're probably setting up the Capture Sphere. We could eat the 2/2 to draw for a land. We do want to hit our 6th land drop pretty badly. Unfortunately, with Short Sword in play, the 2/2 trades, but our guy doesn't. 5th land here is actually really good. I don't want to discard cards from my hand. Crypt Lurker gives us some extra value for getting cards that we want to pull out of the graveyard into our graveyard for card draws, but I don't want Symbiont in my graveyard at 5 mana with any mana draw getting us to 6. I think this is a pass. Trade off with the Charger. Capture Sphere, whatever else comes out this turn is my plan. If they go to kill it, we have Village Rights to deal with it. Black mana source, first black source from our opponent. It's a good one. And there's a reasonable argument for blocking here anyways. I have the mana when I hit my land. I think I'm doing it anyways. I think I'm just chumping with the 2/2. Yeah. Alright, 6th mana secured. We can Symbiont here. It's not bad. We don't have an answer to that yet, but I can double spell next turn for both Lynx and Lurker. We've been pretty aggressively protecting our life total thus far. Got rid of Inspired Charge. Okay. A little bit annoying. Profit's fine. Happy to tap that down. We're definitely double spelling this turn. I guess it could be Lynx into Octoprofit, seems pretty good. For a scry here. Do I want to scry first? I guess I technically want to scry first when that happens. And actually, let's attack first. Here. In case there's some removal, get a little bit more information. I think he's going to sack Crypt Caves this turn is what I think is going on over there. Seems good. Yeah, murder's fine there. I'm a little worried how the fuck we're gonna kill him. But this guy definitely believes in enchanting his creatures. I don't understand how Knight's Pledge is played so often. It's such a bad card. Another sick trick in here. So this untaps this turn, it's a 6/4. I have enough mana to draw, then murder it. Like this is a swing all. We're gonna murder the Charger, and we're gonna sack the Frostlings to draw, I think. Not so excited about the counterattack off the Vulture. Alright, let's draw next. Rise is nice. He's got 2 open mana. I'm not worried. I guess I am worried about discard with black. Okay. I need max mana on the board though. Could have maybe waited till combat if I'm already doing this. I don't want him drawing protection for that. I have no reason to believe he has it, but if he does have it, I'd rather spend the mana on his turn. Maybe there's an argument for waiting for him to attack. Maybe. I mean, I can block that. Would it make a difference if I'm going to take 7 to the face? If he makes protection from black, I can't block it anyways. So I think a lot of the time he equips Vulture and passes. Okay. Why is it bad? Because it's an aura. Now that's weird. That doesn't change his blocks. So our creatures in the graveyard are the Lynx and the other dude. Anything we want here is a Corsair, but it's pretty weak. And then there's the Hallowblade. Auras suck because they often set you up to get 2 for 1 because of removal. So he obviously, is he gonna, okay, so he sets up to trade with the Octoprophet? Seems weird. I don't want to swing here. Yeah, getting back my Symbiont would be great. So I guess I set up to block. Is this just a pass? It's kind of a really passive play is the problem with 3 cards on my opponent's hand. I think the other play is just to swing here, but swing with what? Probably swing. I don't know. I don't know where the good swings are there. Here it stalls board. I'm worried about giving him a wide board with a card with a deck that plays Inspired Charge and is already discarded. Inspiring Charge, that's actually really good for us. That's what we want to see. Take 2, that's fine. I don't know why he's putting the short sword on his Vulture. Bounce here is funny. We can remove tokens. I think getting his last card is too valuable though, so we will play that out now. Probably just land at this point. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so his board is just this 2/2 essentially. I'm happy to dwindle that, I think. And start swinging in the air with no counterattacks, maintain at 10. I don't have to dwindle it, but I kind of want to. I mean, I can actually swing out with a lot here. So let's say he trades off, or gang blocks the Lurker even. Lurker's pretty big here. Is this target creature or target opponent? It's any creature, so I can bounce my Symbiont with that. It's interesting. Chat, I'm content with this board state, although I guess I don't want the vulture coming back, so maybe I'm dwindling it. We did your other removal for another creature card, so I think I'm okay with this. I don't think he can do anything on the ground. We've got starting to get to our late game, which is where we want to be. We've got removal in hand. I think worst case scenario here is something like a top deck, like Mind Rot. So many decisions though, because we could be attacking again. It's the fun part about Magic, right? So I'm always attacking with Symbiont here. Never attacking with anything else. I can consider bouncing it. I don't want to remove a turn of pressure off his life for this. So I'm not really big on bouncing that quite yet. I could just develop. You know, I actually made a mistake here. Because the other consideration was if I bounce the token, which is the one I want to remove, and then he has no good block. Fuck, that was a bad play. Should just bounce the token, attack with all. Leaves in the same position except he takes 6 or chumps. So I think what we're in the condition of now is setting up for the win next turn. Which is then, I'm going to pass here. I'm going to end step remove and cast my Blackguard. And then open with the roaming. Is that 9? He's past his turn though, so the punish here is a big bomb card next turn from him, like that big fucking lifelinker. It's a good card to draw here. Let's go for lethal. Okay. Got there. So there was definitely that one turn where we fucked up. We should have pre-combat bounced the token. Was better there than the route we chose. The rest of it seems okay. All right. Symbiote's such a good card. Yeah, it's solid. It's not incredible. It's still a 3/3 body only. There's a lot of shit that deals with 3/3 bodies. But it is pretty good, especially when you're recurring it a bunch of times, for sure. Drawing 2 off it was really nice. I don't know, lots of decision points in that game. That was a fun one. Both of us had mana. It felt like we were playing a game of Magic. The games of the stuff that tilts me in this game the most is insane RNG, like especially top deck RNG, which tilts everybody. But the one that tilts me even more than that is just like I lost a draft on Monday. I had a draft where I went 6-0 and then I went 6-3, and I died to back-to-back flood screw to end my run on a 6-0 deck, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like that type of RNG like sequence is so painful. Not a lot of value in Arcanist in our hand right now. I don't like playing Fetid Imp into 1 open red mana when I don't know if there's pauses. I don't think I'm getting pauses though. Could just do it post-combat, see. Give me information, game. Oh, he doesn't have anything. Okay. No shock. And we'll play out Imp. I think if this were paper, I'd have played the Arcanist there. I want to get value out of Imp, especially versus red first color. I want to block something and death touch it. Non-creature, non-land. Okay. What do you take? My Rise from the grave? Sure. Did I just murder it to get it back? He's never blocking here. Guess I can murder end step. It's a very expensive use of murder for that stupid 1/2. I do want my Rise back. Feel very low resources right now. Be patient with murder. The problem is the mana timing, right? There's no pressure on the board here. Nothing he's doing is pressuring me right now. But I will get pressured if I end up in a situation where I'm holding, like where I need to murder a creature and my creatures don't challenge his board, and then I also want my card back. And because this is a 1/2 flyer and we're not going to pressure, he has nearly no incentive to trade that freebooter in, right? So a lot of the time that's just going to sit there with Rise from the Grave underneath that freebooter till the very, very end game. And I want my Rise back. It's critical to the play of my deck. So I don't know yet. So I'm not entirely certain yet. Thank you, Mighty Conjurium, for the 2 months. Cheers. So we did not hit our land here. That's kind of rough. Okay. I feel like it's relevant that black is open, but maybe not. All right, so what are we doing here? This is fucking sad. Okay, so the combo we want to set up is we want to Crypt Lurker the Scholar, and then Scholar back to instants or sorceries. So I think I want to murder Freebooter here. It's definitely annoying. He gets to sack for the Hobble Fiend and get it back. But I have to come out of this deadlock, and to do that I need to start doing things, and I'm not sure just sitting here waiting is going to get me there. So we'll see. Alright, nice draw. We can Rise from the Grave next turn on the Scholar. If he has his own Rise from the Grave, we're going to be pretty pissed. Okay. I'm not blocking with the 1-2 right now. So let's get in for damage. Think I have first strike? No. Okay. Sure. I don't think that does anything. Do I take 6 from here? I'm in really good shape if I don't. Question is, what I want to play Village Rites before Rise from the... I guess Scholar can target Rise from the Grave, can't it? So I think this is just no blocks. Okay. Combo Wombo off his asshole over there. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so I wanted to keep Village Rites up, but I can't do that and block. I can threaten to use Imp here. So what I do here is I rebirth like this. We Rise, our Graveyard, Scholar. Get a body, get our 2 spells back. Okay, call it a turn. Could even chip damage with the this right here, but I want to block the Hobble Fiend. I feel like the way I die from this position is I take too much damage before I have a chance to stop him. Village Rites is a lot of protection here. Does it trample? Does. Forgot about that. Okay. Just gotta be a little careful with that. We can write on whatever we want. We can Rites and Scholar. Rites and Scholar is fine. I'm gonna start by blocking with... I think I'm blocking with both, by the way. So first strike trick blows us out kinda, but we want to sack to draw anyways. I don't mind absorbing that. Right now I threaten Death Touch on this if he's got any other trick. I don't lose them both unless he changes something. He can ping after, but I'm okay with that. So I think I'm here right now. I don't want to take more damage right now. I feel like the only way I lose from here is a bunch of damage to the face. Yeah. He goes to 5-4. 5-4 is fine. Then he trades the whole board. I'm still okay with this. Okay. Now we want to sack that to draw. We're okay with this dying. We take 2 trample. That's fine. We want Scholar in the graveyard for us, so I can live with that. Alright, we can get his last card here. Or we can remove this little shit. It's too bad we didn't draw a land there. Land would have been so good there. Oh, we can't Symbiont. We didn't draw land. One more black mana would be nice. We could murder and something. We're already running 9/8 black though. There's nothing I can do about that. I can, for efficiency, finishing blow this. He'll sack, deal 1 to me. Can leave a blocker open, or I can get in. Do I care about getting in anyway? There's nothing in our graveyard that helps us. Downside of leaving this in, he's also playing black. There could be, he could have Rise from the Grave in his deck. I could just block again. The problem is his trampling. Could finishing blow his turn too. I think I just pass here. Feels ugly. I don't think there's much that will save his Hobble Fiend though. Yeah, I think it's finishing blow for mana efficiency. Yeah. Sure. Alright, still black mana starved. Can Salvager. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still use black mana for that though, so it's not good enough. This card's gonna draw him cards. That's unacceptable. I think we're fucking removing it again. It's like remove and swing, or possibly remove and hit. So 2/1. I'm 1 mana off double spell here because of no black mana. Symbiote's okay. I guess it chumps that. Yeah. Draws me a card maybe. Maybe that's better. Can get blown out a little bit, which is top deck removal. I mean, the problem is the Thief gets him a draw. So the problem with Symbiont is actually, it's not to get his card. We don't care about the card. We really don't. The thing with Symbiont is it's the most mana efficient play I can make. And I actually care about that right now because we're blocked from double spelling by mana efficiency. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I mean, he's always going to trade this off. I'm always happy to block here. I don't think I need to gang block. He probably just pings face with that, honestly. But maybe he drew other things. Yeah. Alright. We're at 10. We're dead to double lava axes right now. Second and third active treason in this guy's deck. Alright, world's most aggressive deck over there. Alright, mana's a bit better here. We're on 8. 8 is murder plus Salvager, or murder plus Rise from the Grave. Either is fine. I'm going to start removing his creatures pretty much as they come out when they're not equipped. So we're going to do this now. Okay. Could it Rise plus Blackguard? I don't know that Rise is that good in that scenario. I'd have to think about the turn, but maybe. Alright, we're swinging for 3. We're rising from the grave. Our Scholar. Okay. We're pulling back Murder and Rise from the Grave. Great. Dude, infinite skeleton recursion combo. Goodness. He has so many sacrifice outlets in his deck. That's funny. So active maybe he's got like a 6 sack deck, and there's 3 active treasons in there with a. He's had 3 outlets so far: the Witch's Cauldron, the Hobble Fiend, and the Mask. All right, what are we on mana wise? 9. I think it might be Murder plus Salvager for the murder. I don't want him blocking. He saves himself 3 health here, and health is going to start being really relevant. So I'm nuking this. Feels really ugly to nuke a recurring creature like this, but it's value versus value. Let's not give him also the ability to chump. Okay. Alright. We've got 5. I'm not going to leave this guy back. We're going to cast Salvager this turn. Let's get in for 7. we're racing against his sack synergy, and you can sack multiple times a turn, although it's super expensive. Okay. Take my cheap removal. Keep building board. Okay. Why don't they sack it for life in a card draw? Because he did damage to my face. He has two options to sack, right? He can either sack with Mask or sack with Witch's Cauldron. And I think his thought is he's going to kill us. So he may not think he has card draws either in his deck, right? Like, for example, what do you beat? How do you beat this black recursion engine right now with card draws? I guess a flying, like a hasted flyer or something, but he may not have that in his deck. So in other words, he chose the option that pings my face if the idea is to ping my face to death, which is maybe how he tries to win. Skeleton cost is 3. I don't think that's relevant because he's got an empty board. I think he's literally making a decision process. He can res that next turn. He doesn't care about the attack. The attack's not getting through. He cares about having a body on board to block that he can sack to get some sort of benefit from. So I don't think he's making this decision based on that. It just may not be that. It may be that he sees a win con as hitting me in the face. And maybe if he runs like 5 Axe to Treasons and like a Lava Axe in there or something, getting me to like a lower value might actually be how he wins. You don't think he can win from this? I think we've also protected our life total enough that we probably win from here. But it doesn't take a lot. Again, imagine top deck active Treason into Lava Axe, dead. We've already seen 3 active Treasons in his deck. It's very likely he'll play more if he has them. It looks like he rage quit, but his deck looks cool. A lot of sacrifice outlets, nice quality creatures, 2/2 flyer that heals you, recurring skeleton, 2/2 that draws you cards, sack outlet, card that takes your stuff, removal. His deck looks really good, honestly. But I think he rage quit like a small child. I strongly recommend you think about this in your own games. When you rage quit by walking away from the deck, the thing, think about how childlike you are. And I'm certainly guilty of overreacting to card games for sure. But this is like a petulant, like 2-year-old. Oh, you didn't let me win? I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. I mean, okay, sure. See you, buddy. All right. I think that annoys me. It's not my opponent drawing off the top, although that annoys me. It annoys me when my opponent makes bad decisions and gets rewarded, like playing bad cards and getting like drawn out on the top of his deck, for example. That bugs the shit out of me. But it's not I don't know. It feels distinctly different to me. This is just he's trying to, I don't even know, aggress versus me for beating him. So. Hit a guy extremely close to taking a swing at you in an MTG tournament? That'd be fucking hilarious. That'd be the most justified example of violence you'd ever have, right? In a Magic tournament, some guy like punches you because he's losing the game. I think you could beat him to death with a chair there and be entirely justified. Like, just saying. Just putting that out there. Okay. All right. That's right. You could be like I guess if you're Gambit in real life, you could toss your Magic cards at him until he died too. I guess that's a thing. All right, his deck was cool. I think we figured out his game plan early enough to make the right decisions. Our deck feels cool too, though. I like these. The small combos in draft are always fun. Sad how often this happens. Yeah, people, Anonymous Gaming does this. You can see this too if you go back and watch my very early streaming VODs. Like, I'm a much more angry person when I'm anonymous than I am when I'm not, for sure. It's just a byproduct of it. The less human my opponents feel, so if they're just people on the other side of this, other side of a computer screen, so it's just a program interacting with me, and the less I have any checks and balances on how unreasonable I can be, the more ragey I am, for sure. Going first here kind of sucks, but we have a handful of 3-drops that are good. Both of them are tempo 3-drops, right? Like links to slow them down, imp to trade off with better creatures, and we have a card to draw us cards in a second. So we have a 2-drop and 2 3-drops and 2 mana. We can definitely lose this game by just never drawing our 3rd land and getting punished for it, but our hand is good enough that even that on the play I'm not gonna mull this for that. There's our land, pretty happy about that. Imp blocks Scorch Spitter. This is a very aggressive deck if our opponent has played Scorch Spitter or it's an Elemental Synergy deck. We don't know which yet, but that's about the only reasons to put this card in your deck. Goblin Arsonist. This is a fucking pile of stuff over there. I'm going to play out Thief here. It's amazing what a 1-2 is doing to this board, so we'll hold on to that. Another sack deck? It could very well be. I mean, that's certainly what you're hoping with Skeleton is some like, you know, like bone splinters and that kind of shit. All right, I want to draw a land here. I'm going to tap down his 1-2. He still, I guess I could top down the 1-1. Then I'm trading Thief for Spitter. Not super excited by trading Thief for Spitter. I do want to draw my card when I'm mana screwed. I guess I can trade this with an Arsonist. Okay. I mean, if he has Blade Brand this turn, though, Arsonist is a huge blowout. So maybe and he's got the right colors for it, and it's the type of deck that would absolutely play Blade Brand. So maybe what I'm doing is tapping down Arsonist instead, and then swinging. And I'm trading this just for a Spitter, which is not very exciting, but it's still okay. It's fine. All right, I gotta get unland screwed here, and if I don't, I will lose this game. So I'm willing to pay a life in that creature for a downwards trade. Siege Breaker. Well, we just lost. We drew our extra card and didn't get there, so I'm passing and being pretty salty about this. He's got mana for it too, which means he can ping with the Arsonist. Okay. All right, let's see. I got 2 big messages in chat. Actively trying to get some sort of reaction from opponent, but can't do that online. I tend to be calmer. That's interesting. Not for me. Some friends who flame people in Rocket League. Yeah, I don't know. I think anonymity certainly has that. So both blocks here suck, right? There's 0 value in either of them. He can only kill 1 with that Arsonist, and it's a problem forever. Does this thing have Menace? No. I guess I'm just trading links for Arsonist then. Hoping to anyways. He may... I can't leave it, right? Because yes, he gets value out of the Siege Breaker, and that sucks. But if I let 2 damage through every single turn here, I think it's worse than the value. I'm glad he killed that one. Here it's a little annoying. So maybe I should have blocked the other way. I wanted the Imp left up, but I wanted him to spend his mana this turn. Jesus, that's another great card here. All right. This is the type of thing that tilts me. Not my opponent having cards and having plays and having an interesting deck. It tilts the fuck out of me when I'm not actually playing a game of Magic here. We kept a 2-lander, drew to 3, drew an extra card aggressively to try to fix the screw, and we're now still fucked. I can't even Village Rites now because the problem is I have to draw... I'm only going to draw 2 cards, and I need a land and a playable 3-drop off that. There's no way I can do that. So I'm forced into this awful scenario where I'm chumping with the Field Imp, the Fetid Imp. I can't even give it Death Touch. We only have 1 black on the board, and I have to draw off of it, and my opponent is still developing. And this is like a super bad spot to be in here. I can't even Death Touch here. Any trick makes me lose, and I have to have mana here. So this has to be this. It's just so bad. I don't think it has trample. All right. So we're at 8. We're going to go to 7 here. We haven't seen sack outlets yet. Part of me wants to Strangling Spores the Devil. I go to taking 3 to the face, go to 11, take 5 the next time, going to 6. He's got 3 cards in hand and can keep playing. I need to hit lands. Could Octo Prophet as a blocker. It's a pretty shit blocker, but it will trade with Siege Breaker. And maybe scry a land atop. Otherwise, it's Crypt Lurker, discard something. Don't have really good discards either. I mean, I could discard Roaming Ghostlight to rise it next turn, but that just seems worse than just fucking playing the Ghostlight, right? So I think it's profit. I'm in a lot of trouble with a lot of things my opponent's doing, but we've screwed so many times now, like missed so many land drops that we don't really have options. We're kind of forced into ignoring our opponent's hand. Yeah. Dragonfire. I don't think we can come back from here. So I take 7, 8 to the face, go to 6. And if he sacks Devils, Devils can go face. So I'm really effectively at 3 HP here. Alright, I can't double spell here. Anything in either graveyard? I could rise a Lynx, but that's like a later thing. I think this is just Ghostlight, bounce the Devils. So we block the 4, take 4, go to 1, go to 2. I don't have other plays though, so. I don't know if I can beat that though if I'm at 2 health, because I don't think I have life gain in the deck. I can dwindle it and then... Alright, never mind. All of our decisions are meaningless. This is the type of game that tilts the fuck out of me. Because although I made a lot of decisions, not a single one of them had any impact on the game. Right? And all of my decisions are essentially, how do I get land? So we don't play a match of Magic. He just wins. So that kind of sucks. Alright, next game. Some people are better shrugging elves off than I am. You were told this screw beats flood, so it was favored. Yeah. A land deck and a spell deck. I think that's been suggested a number of times. They're clearly pretty all in on lands, and the better. And to be fair, like lands aren't as bad in standard, and the newer lands are certainly better than the older lands. But it's still a mechanic that has a high amount of RNG associated with it. The reason why you can't do something like what you've just described, Professor Pandemonium, is it pushes aggro decks. If you can play a very, very small number of lands in your deck total and then guarantee that those sources come out, it pushes very heavy aggro decks into a much stronger state because you don't run out of gas because you have a land deck and a regular deck. You always get to play your cards on curve because you're guaranteed the lands, and basically it never stops. So it has its own downsides. There's no perfect answer except making lands more versatile than they are. This is good enough. We're going first again, but we have mana of either color and a 2-drop and a way to draw after that. It's not the most exciting hand. Red mana again. Okay. We're playing Mythic. I don't know where, I mean, aren't we like 3 brackets away from Mythic? Okay. Mastiff. Oh, man. It's this and pass. The question is, what do we do next? I don't hate Village Writing the Arcanist. I've got the Switcheroo. The Arcanist is okay here for that as well. I can block the dog, force him to pump, Village Rites in response, draw cards, have him take a turn off. I think a lot of the times he doesn't pump here anyways, but we'll give him the option. Yeah. Exactly. He wants to play cards. Makes sense. Mask. Sure. You want to sack your dude to kill my guy? That's fine as well. So he did better than we were hoping for. He got development out of that, but we also got to draw. We needed to draw here where our hand is entirely dead. Didn't want to see one more fucking creature out of him that turn. That's kind of annoying. He triple spelled that turn, double spelled that turn. I mean, that seems pretty good, actually. Okay. Alright, what's the 3/3 doing for us? It can't block the Mastiff. It can block the Arsonist. Can't deal with Brute right now, but I can bounce Bruce. Interesting, no attack. You should have attacked Mastiff first. Isn't this equipped for 1 as well? Equips for 2. So it's a tempo Ghostlight for us. Targeting his biggest creature. Last turn his turn was awkward because he was mana screwed. Doesn't have enough to do double spell, so let's bounce the Boggart Brute again. It's also the harder one for us to deal with. I'm fine with no attacks. Next turn is Symbiont. We have Salvage and Switcheroo in hand. I don't have any great Switcheroo targets versus him, but that's okay. I mean, Bayleth is interesting. I can just remove that and pass it back. I don't hate this board. Can Symbiont the turn after, that's still fine. There is a green 1 mana spell that will protect the Bayleth. I think I'm fine just nuking it right now. He can attack me with Mastiff. If he equips it, he can attack trade. I think I can get in for 3 here. I lose 1 life for that. I think that's still fine. Okay. I did bluff a Village Rites. Yep. There's 1 mana blue cards though too. There's unsummons, right? And the other one. So I block here every time. Make him spend the mana to pump it. It's fine. I can't block brutes, so they're gonna swing on me next turn. It looks like. I will get one of his 2 remaining cards. He played land again this turn, which is kind of nice. So I don't think anything changes my play here. I think we can attack first or after. I guess I want to play this beforehand so he doesn't have the information of whether or not I'm attacking or blocking.
A generous bestowal.
Thank you, Scotty. Thanks.